Here is something most people will never hear, so listen closely. If the only way you use AI is by opening a tab in your web browser, typing a question, and reading whatever comes back, then you are using maybe 1% of what this technology can actually do for you. You are not doing anything wrong exactly. You are just stuck at the very bottom rung. I call it level 0. And the gap between level 0 and the next step up is the single biggest difference between people who think AI is a neat little toy and people who quietly get hours of their week back. Let me show you what that gap really is and how you cross it. What level 0 looks like. Level 0 is the version of AI almost everyone starts with. You go to a chat website, you type into a little box, and the AI types back. You ask it to write an email, draft a caption, explain a confusing idea, maybe summarize something you paste in. It feels useful, and it genuinely is, but notice what is actually happening here. The AI lives somewhere far away, on a server you will never see. It cannot touch anything you own. It does not know what is on your computer. It has never seen your files, your folders, your spreadsheets, your half-finished documents, so every single time you have to be the messenger. You copy something out, you paste it in, you read the reply, you copy it back, you fix the formatting, and then you do the whole dance again tomorrow. You are basically using a very smart search engine that happens to talk back to you. The work still lands on your plate. The thinking gets a little easier, but the doing, the moving things around, the saving and the sorting and the formatting, all of that is still entirely yours. That is level 0, and the sad truth is that most people never leave it. Why it feels like enough. Here is the tricky part. Level 0 feels like more than enough, because it is genuinely helpful compared to having nothing at all. The first time the AI writes a decent email in 10 seconds, you are impressed. The first time it explains something confusing in plain language, you are sold. So your brain quietly files it away as a solved problem. You think, great, I know how to use AI now, and you move on. But you have only met the receptionist. You have not walked into the building. The real danger of something being good enough is that it stops you from looking for anything better. You keep typing into that little box for months, sometimes years, never realizing that the exact same technology, set up just a little differently, could be doing the actual work for you instead of only talking about it. What level 1 actually is. So what is level 1? Level 1 is when the AI stops living in a faraway browser tab and starts living right on your computer. It can open your real files and your real folders. You can point it at a folder full of messy documents and say, sort these, rename them, pull out the key numbers, and put them in one clean summary. And it just does it. Not a description of how you could do it yourself. The finished thing sitting in your folder, done. At level 1, the AI can run a real project from start to finish. It can read your notes, draft the document, save the file, check it against your other files, and hand you back completed work. You stop being the messenger copying text back and forth all day. You become the person who gives an instruction and receives a result. Think about that difference for a second. At level 0, the AI is a clever voice trapped behind glass, able to advise you but never able to lift a finger. At level 1, it has hands. It can reach into the same files you work with every day and change them. That is the whole shift, and it quietly changes everything about what AI is actually worth to you. Why people stay stuck. If level 1 is so much better, why is almost everyone still parked at level 0? There are a few honest reasons. First, nobody told them level 1 exists. The browser chat box is the thing that gets advertised everywhere, so that is what people assume AI simply is. Second, it sounds technical. The moment someone hears install something on your computer, a little voice in the head says that is for programmers, that is not for me. Third, people are quietly afraid of breaking something or of looking stupid trying, so they stay inside the safe, familiar little box where nothing can go wrong. Notice that none of these reasons are about ability, they are about visibility and fear, and both of those melt away the moment someone simply shows you the steps one time. You do not need to be technical. You only need to be shown once. The mindset shift. Getting to level 1 is less about software and more about a change in how you think. At level 0, you treat AI like a search engine. You ask a question and then you go off and do all the real work yourself. At level 1, you treat AI like a capable assistant that you can delegate to. That one word, delegate, is the whole mindset. Instead of asking, how do I write this report? You hand over the files and say, Write this report from these and save it here when you are done. Instead of asking for a few tips, you hand over the entire task. The people who get the most out of AI are not the smartest or the most technical ones in the room. They are simply the ones who stopped asking and started delegating. Once that click happens in your head, everything else is just learning which buttons to press. It is easier than it looks. Now here is the part that genuinely surprises people. Getting set up at level 1 is far easier than it looks from the outside. You are not learning to code. You are not building anything from scratch. You install a program the same way you would install any normal app on your phone or laptop. You open it, you point it at a folder, you type what you want in plain English, the exact same plain English you already use in the chat box today. The only difference is that now the AI can actually reach your files and act on them. If you can install an app and type a sentence, you already have every skill that you need. The hard part was never the doing. The hard part was simply not knowing that this was even an option in the first place. Anyone can do this. I want to be very clear about who this is for, because people count themselves out far too quickly. This is not just for techies. It is not just for young people. It is not just for people who happen to love computers. If you can use email, if you can use a web browser, if you can save a file with a name, then you can do this. I have watched people who swore up and down that they were hopeless with technology set this up and run their very first real project in a single afternoon. The trick is to go one small step at a time in the right order, with someone clearly showing you each step as you go. You are not trying to become a programmer here. You are just trying to move from typing into a box to handing real work over to something that can actually finish it for you. Your first real project. Let me make level 1 concrete with a simple everyday example. Imagine you have a folder of rough meeting notes from the past month. They are all over the place in different formats, and half of them are barely readable. At level 0, you would open each file, copy it into the chat, ask for a summary, copy the summary back out, and then repeat that for every single file by hand. Slow and painful. At level 1, you point the AI at the whole folder once and say, "Read all of these, give me one clean summary of the key decisions and who is doing what, and save it as a document right here." A few moments later, the file is sitting there, finished. That is the feeling I really want you to have. Not AI that talks about the work, AI that does the work and hands it straight back to you. What changes for you? When you make this jump, the change is not really about saving a few minutes here and there. It is about what you stop carrying. All those small, draining tasks that pile up, the renaming, the sorting, the first rough draft, the tidying, the repeating yourself, they stop being your job to grind through. You start your week by deciding what matters and pointing the AI at it, and you spend your actual attention on the parts that only a human can do, the judgment, the relationships, the decisions. That is the quiet reward of level 1. You are not just faster, you are lighter. The mental clutter shrinks, the backlog stops growing, and the work you have been putting off finally starts moving on its own. And once you have felt that even once, going back to copying and pasting in a browser box feels almost silly, the free course. Here is the good news. You do not have to figure any of this out alone, and you do not have to pay anything to learn it. I put together a free step-by-step course that takes you from level 0 all the way to level 1, one small step at a time. It walks you through installing Claude on your computer, setting up a place called Warp where the AI can actually do real work, running your very first project using your own files, and even making a simple AI skill that you can reuse again and again. No jargon, no assumptions, just clear steps you can follow even if you have never done anything like this before in your life. If you have been stuck typing into that little box, this is exactly how you climb out. To start, head to aifirstasia.com/level1. Again, that is firstasia.com/level1. Go through it at your own pace and try to run your first real project this week. And if you want more practical AI workflows for SME owners, subscribe. No hype, no fluff, just the simple things that actually work. I will see you at level 1.